Yes, everyone, welcome to Full Time Devils. This is a newspaper review. My name is Stephen Howson, and as much as it hurts, as much as there was that typical overreaction that you would always get whenever you beat Arsenal or whenever you lose to Arsenal, because Arsenal fans don't have any sort of perspective in life, and not winning a title for 15 years has absolutely melted their brains. We are going to look at the newspapers today, and we're going to see what some of the journalists are doing. But before I get into that, I want to just say to you, journalism's dead, and journalists killed it, because some of the stuff that is written in these is just mind-bending. Where should we kick off? I have got the Guardian, I have got the Mail, and I've got the MEN. Bang your questions in the comments, and we'll see what you guys say. Now, the title, before any of you start blogging, is nothing to do with me, and it is what one of these journalists has said, which is why I think it's so egregious. Let's start with the formerly great local newspaper, now disreputable blog known as the MEN. And we'll go with what Tyrone Marshall has wrote here. And he says, one of the most fascinating aspects of Solskjaer's reign so far has been some of the interesting tactical decisions he has made. This is this geezer here. And he says, he got it wrong from the start in Paris in midweek. Wrong from the start. Wrong from the start. No, we took the lead at the start, and I think he got it absolutely bang on in Paris. Okay, but we'll continue. It says, but playing Jesse Lingard as a false nine was a success earlier in his spell in charge, and he was at it again at the Emirates playing a kind of 4-4-2, 4-3-3 hybrid. I've read that sentence 10 times, and it still doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to read it again for you guys, see if you can make this make sense. He says, he got it wrong from the start in Paris in midweek, but playing Jesse Lingard as a false nine was a success earlier in his spell in charge, and he was at it again at the Emirates playing a 4-4-2, 4-3-3 hybrid. Am I being thick, or does that make no sense? What's Jesse Lingard got to do with anything? He was injured. What's a false nine got to do with anything? He was at it again makes no sense at all. I'm sorry. Guys, in the comments, just talk to me. What? Okay. The Norwegian had Diego Dalot hugging the right touchline, but both of his informed strikers operating between the confines of the penalty box. That left Pogba on the left midfield, covering plenty of ground across half of the pitch. Now, that's not what the case was. We was lined up as a 4-4-2 in defence, and then once we moved into attack, it became a bit more like the traditional sort of 4-3-3. Marcus moved over to that left-hand side. Occasionally, he was also involved in the centre and on the right, and Paul Pogba moved into the centre of midfield. When you look at the average involvement of all the players, it was the traditional 4-3-3 three-man midfield. This makes no sense. Anyway, he goes on waffling on about the different formation stuff, and then he goes, there's just this line here got to me. The risk is such, a formation can leave you unbalanced, and United were exposed at times. Arsenal had one shot from open play, and it was a shot from miles away. Now, yeah, I thought Arsenal played well yesterday. But United weren't massive. Why are people rewriting history? United weren't mega exposed. Arsenal were exposed. Look how many chances United created. Look how many opportunities Marcus and Lukaku had to put away. That's nonsense, mate. Absolute king nonsense. And speaking of nonsense, here's everyone's favourite Sam Lucas player ratings. These are laughable. He should do a comedy stand-up, because these are ridiculous. David De Gea gets a free. Indefensible error to gift Xhaka the opener. I don't understand why people are calling this an error. I really don't understand why calling this an error. The ball literally moves in midair 5-6 feet out of the way. How is that? How is that an error by David De Gea? He's moving his way over to where the ball's going, and in midair the ball changes flight, whether it was wind, whether it was just the flight or the spin that he put on the ball. I'm not having that as an error. It's just one of those. Ideally, I think that Matic should have probably been closer to Xhaka and blocked the shot, but I'm not having that as a howler from David De Gea at all. He basically then gives everybody else a 5. Lindelof gets a 3. Nemanja Matic gets a 3. I thought Matic was one of his poorer starts, but I thought he came into the game a little bit later on. And then everybody else is a 5. Fred 5, Pogba 5, Dalot 5, Rashford 5, Lukaku 5. I thought Lukaku, by the finish, was very good yesterday. I thought he was very, very good, and some of the play that United put on them was ridiculous. I thought it was fantastic. De Gea was wrong-footed, Simple As says Pods. Was he wrong-footed? Go and watch it again from behind. He's going to where the ball was going to, and he goes, and the ball just changes flight. He should have been closed down before he got the shot. Not De Gea's fault, says JTI. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was someone should have closed the shot down. Matic, it looked to me like it was his man, and he just sort of lets him carry it forward and then smack a shot up. This is the insight that you're getting from these journalists. Mason Greenwood, 5, made his debut. Gets paid for that. Anyway, let's go to The Guardian. So I thought there was some interesting stuff here that's worth highlighting, and this is from Barney Roney, and this is analysis. It's under the headline analysis, and I like a little bit of analysis, so I was like, right, let's go and check out what the analysis is. And it says, the Emirates has been a beautiful sight at kick-off on a cold, hard, sunlit March day. Is he trying to shag us, or is he trying to tell us what the analysis was at Arsenal? Because that's a load of nonsense, if you're asking me. Anyway, this is a very interesting line that he's got in there as well, and he says, a 2-0 victory here, the first Premier League defeat of Solskjaer's time at United, means Arsenal have now made up 9 points on Spurs since Valentine's Day and are a single point behind in 4th. The fact that they've made up 9 points on Spurs since Valentine's Day, I think is mental. We've made up 10 points on Spurs, and without the defeat yesterday, if we'd have won, we'd have made up 13 points on Spurs. But that's since the whole of Solskjaer's reign. That shows you the form that Arsenal are in. We've obviously dropped points against Burnley, we've dropped points against Liverpool, and now we've dropped points against Arsenal. But that shows you the form that Spurs are in, and it shows you the form that Arsenal are in as well. I thought that one was quite interesting. And the final one that we've got for you is player ratings here from the Mail. A lot of people trying to put this at Solskjaer's feet, and for me, it doesn't swing with me. Unai Emery, this is the player ratings here in the Mail. Unai Emery, 8, has turned Arsenal into a formidable proposition at home, showing signs of progress. It gives him an 8. Solskjaer, 6.5. Taste defeat in the Premier League, will now look for a response, 6.5. Now, United had 4 shots on target. Expected goals is United win that game 2-1. Arsenal have 1 shot from target, which was it was the one from Xhaka, which is mental. I'm sorry, I don't agree. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Talk to me in the comments. What do you guys think? Mad player ratings for people. 6s and 5s in this one mostly. He's got Koscielny an 8. His experience was key in containing United's strikes force. They allowed more shots than we did. But Chris Smalling and Victor Lindelof get a 6 and a 6.5. It's interesting, isn't it? It's like a lot of people go far more on the result than actually on the performance. And I'm not making excuses. We should have seen them away. We should have been able to go and win that game. We had the opportunities to do so, and we didn't. Very similar to what Arsenal had the opportunities to beat us when David De Gea had that heroic game last year, and didn't. It's on them to go and get the win, and they didn't, and we didn't. Yeah. Ahmed says, anyone see our attempts at the 44th minute? That is brilliant football. That was the best move of the game. That was absolutely phenomenal. One touch play all the way into the halfway line, into Pogba. He bangs it over to Lukaku. Didn't see anyone talking about his touch after that yesterday, who plays the low in, pulls it back for Marcus, who I think probably should have done better with the finish. De Gea should save that all day, says Tops. Yep. So one of the comments saying United fans are salty. I don't think anyone's being salty here. I think we're just talking facts. Arsenal kept a clean sheet. He deserves an 8. How the fact does that the keeper pulls out some heroics mean that the manager got his tactics better than our manager? We created more chances. The manager's job is to set his team up in a manner that allows his team to create chances and limit the chances that the opposition have. Arsenal did not do that. Arsenal didn't create more chances than us, and we had more chances than them. That's literally the opposite. That was a lucky manager. Now, I'm not criticising him. I'd rather have a lucky manager than an unlucky manager, clearly. But you can't just say his team kept a clean sheet, so the manager deserves an 8. At what point do you take into account what happened with the players? Lukaku and Marcus Rashford should have scored some of their goals. We had 2 chances that hit the post. They had a bullshit penalty decision. Are you literally going to judge a manager on poor refereeing performances? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Adam says, I think Scott McTominay shouldn't have been dropped. Matic clearly wasn't ready to return. I thought Fred was man of the match until he gave away the pen. He should have known not to touch Laka. But again, you're judging that on the fact that it shouldn't have really been a penalty. Contact doesn't mean foul. It's a contact sport. It's whether or not he was fouled. He didn't knock him off balance. The guy was going down all day. Xhaka bossed the midfield. Don't know what game you watched. Reggae says, you guys lost, accept it and move on. You guys attacked well, but we kept you at bay. Stop being sore losers. Who's being a sore loser? No one's being a sore loser. I'm literally just talking about what happened in the game. I think you know. Yeah, I think you know. This Arsenal result could have happened under Sir Alex. This Arsenal result has happened under Sir Alex. If we missed many chances, we will lose the game, especially against a top 6 side, says Amar. Also think the United players used too much time on the ball, lacking the urgency to create better chances. I thought we moved the ball quite well, to be honest. I thought we, as proven by the way we created, I thought Luke Shaw looked great. I thought that he's a real revelation at left back. Pogba's positioning, sometimes drifting inside. When we had the ball, I thought left him a little isolated, and I thought we could have bullied him a little bit down that left-hand side. That's one of the reasons I wanted to see Tony Marshall playing, because Tony Marshall can definitely do that. United fans talking about shouldn't be a penalty, ha ha ha. Well, no, it shouldn't have been a penalty. What's funny about that? Fred's getting hate for no reason. He was great, says Druv. I thought there was times he was a little bit sloppy, but I thought at times he was the player that we thought that we'd signed. Yeah. Archie says the ref isn't to blame. Your pen versus PSG wasn't a pen, except that it was. And he says, and Rooney dived at the 49 unbeaten. I think the 49 unbeaten wasn't Wayne Rooney, I don't think. It was Rude, off the top of my head. I think that was a different game. But it was a pen against PSG. It was handball. Know what I mean? Just wasn't our day, simple as that. The amount of opposition fans in here just tells me everything that we need to know, especially Arsenal fans. You're the worst fan base in football, lads. John Duffy says, UEFA said the PSG penalty was correct, and we're in a quarter-final of the Champions League. Arsenal are not. True story. Right back needed in the summer, a defensive midfielder and a right winger and be ready to challenge, says I still think I need a centre-half. I definitely still think we need a centre-half. Strategy.com says we need a loss. It will make our winning mentality stronger. And Sage says thinks we look tired. Yeah, at the end of the day, the fact that we've gone on such an incredible run, and you can only count the PSG tie as a whole because we did progress, whether we lost the first half of it or not. The run that we've been on since Solskjaer came in, considering the run which led to Jose Mourinho's demise, has been absolutely incredible. And the fact that we managed to scrape through the Liverpool game, the second leg of the Paris game, with the injuries that we had to this side, there's some seriously thin positions and depth at certain places in this squad. And because of that, it's very difficult for us to compete on multiple fronts. We do now have a week off before we face Wolves in the FA Cup, and I think that's going to be a much needed week. I want to see someone like Jesse Lingard come back into the team. If we get that, I think we'll be in a decent place. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to get your comments in below, like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you later.